Mass murder in a public place. It happened this morning and several more times over the past few years.
But that type of terror was introduced right here in Austin with the 1966 shootings at the University of Texas Tower. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi spoke with an author who wrote about that crime and that killer and his influence that may still be felt today.
The crew-cut, blonde, blue-eyed, all-American boy.
It's one of the faces that we've never met, yet still can't forget.
That iconic yearbook photo of Charles Whitman.
It's the face that graces the cover of Gary Laverne's book, Sniper in the Tower, a book that detailed Charles Whitman's every move before he walked to the top of the Texas Tower and showed the country something it had never seen before.
The University of Texas Tower tragedy of 1966 was America's introduction to mass murder as we think of it today.
And on Friday, we saw it again. But Laverne says mass murder like the one in Aurora may have been worse if not for the lessons learned from Whitman.
It's probably the most significant crime ever committed on American soil in terms of what it did to law enforcement.
After Whitman, SWAT teams and specialized training was created, making it rare you'll ever see another shooting spree like it. The suspect in Colorado fired for mere minutes. Whitman fired for an hour and a half. But the biggest question then is still the biggest question now that hasn't been answered. Why?
If we knew that, we could predict who's going to do this, and we still can't do that.
Laverne has written 3 books on killers and mass murder. He thinks one possible motivation, having a face like Whitman.
There are others who have come after him who probably sought that kind of recognition and that kind of infamy.
And he says all the things the murderers he has studied seem to have in common.
That is a huge, huge ego.
And something else Laverne says hasn't changed since 1966. Every time a new face surfaces, words like crazy and insane follow as we try to justify what happened. But justification isn't a requirement for a killer.
It doesn't mean that they're insane. Many times it just means that they're mean.
A Sniper in the Tower was published in 1997 and it's still being printed today. The reason why? Laverne says every time there's a tragedy like what happened in that movie theater this morning, book sales pick right back up. We're in the studio. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.